via smile.com, where your smile makes a difference in the world. Today I'm going to show you how to make a stencil. Now, it's not that hard, but it's not that easy. You just have to pay a little more attention to things because you're going to be cutting with some scissors. So the stencil, let's just say that the stencil is going to be for a set of greeting cards or Christmas cards. So you start off, if you haven't seen my video on greeting cards, we started off with a sheet of bond paper, just like you use in your copy machine or your fax or your computer. You fold it in half, and then you fold it in half again. This gives us a card that is 4 1/4 wide by 5 1/2 tall, which is 1/4 of the 8 1/2 by 11 sheet of paper. Now, you can use colored paper, you can use the white paper, whatever paper you want. We're going to make a stencil so that every card you make has the same shape, and so you don't leave a chance for it to be a different size. So it's a consistency. To make the stencil, you need a little bit thicker paper than the actual bond paper. So what I do is I recycle anything that's in the house. I just bought a product, and this was one of the inserts for it. I also have what they call cardstock that you can buy at probably any copy shop or something like that. And then the top of a box that I bought a product, here's the flap, so I can use this. This is stiff, and this lasts, a nice long time. Also, anything that you get in the mail, you can add to it, or I'm an artist, so I have, sheets of paper laying around that I use. So you start off with, you have your sheet that you're going to cut your stencil out of. You want to make sure that what your stencil isn't going to be any bigger than the card. So you need to just give yourself kind of an idea of what the card is. You can be as precise as you want. I don't do that so much. You will need to have some kind of a semblance for exactness, at least for lining up. So what you want to do is, when you draw this, you're going to want to cut here a little bit. So you got that corner, and you do just a little bit, not a lot, at the other corner. So when you go, your card would go underneath this when you're going to actually start stenciling. Your card goes underneath this, and you start lining up where these go. In here. There we go. There you go. And you have it lined up here and here and here and here, so that now you know that this is the positioning for any of your drawings. Okay, so we're going to start, we're going to do a star. And you can make that however you want. If you make a mistake, you want to make it bigger. Right now, all that matters is that you get the shape that you want, because we're just going to cut the outside edges. Okay, so I have my star. The way that you start is you take your scissors, or you can use your pen, as long as it's not too thick a paper, and you can poke a hole, because you need something to get the point of the scissors in there. So in doing this, you take little snippets at the top, at the end of your scissors, and that's the best way to do it. You try and make as smooth a line as you possibly can once you get to the outside edge. And the idea is to cut along the outside edge and get your shape that you're going to be using. It's a little tedious to make sure that your shape is nice and that it doesn't have a jagged edge. The reason I'm cutting in here is because the tension, if I was to cut like this, there's tension that occurs, and you might get an uneven cut. So I always take more cuts than just outlining the edge as one continuous cut. You don't once again go in here because you're going to rip it. So you want to make sure that you're always, if you have points, you're always cutting towards the point. Once you get a little bit cut out, it's a lot easier to cut the rest of it. And then we are on the last part of the star. And there we have our star. So to get that star on our card, we line it up and we take our pen, pencil, felt pen, whatever we want to do, and then you draw on the inside and you have your star. Now I can turn this, I can open this, and I can, as though this is the next card, and I can draw this again. By lining it up on the corners, I will get approximately the same space, and I will have the same shape for each card that I do. There you got it. This also is good if you wanted to cut this out and make it see-through. You would just put this here. Well, after you cut it out, then you would gently pencil it and it would come through here and you could color it, and so it would be a open card. Okay, so what you need is some type of heavier stock, cardboard, thicker than a regular bond paper. You have your scissors. It's nice if they're sharp and if they have a point if you're going to do detailed work. You have your felt pins. You don't need glue. You have a pencil or a pen. And that's how you stencil. You can stencil a variety of things. At my website, thelifedialogue.com, look for the download link in the right-hand column. There'll be a whole PDF for stenciling, and it'll have some actual drawings, shapes that you can begin with. There you have it. Now you're ready to make your own set of greeting cards and your Christmas cards or holiday cards for every year. Be a smile, be a cause, be it now. Your smile makes a difference in our world. Beasmile.com.